And welcome back to Corbellic Studios. I'm Corbellic. We're going to be knocking out another loose painting exercise, just to loosen our minds up, right? Just to get things done. I mean, that's the whole principle right here is that we're getting the work done. So you don't have to like it, you don't have to love it, but at least you're getting the work done and you're going to feel better about that more than anything at the end of the day, because at least that you had a production. No one's telling you every single painting that you have to do, you have to love it, because you're only painting for yourself at that point, and then that's ego. Because the paintings that you love, the market's not going to love it. It works out that way. And I don't want you to get disappointed in yourself thinking that you're not an artist or that you're not great or any of those other things that society tries to say or art school tries to say for you to do aesthetically pleasing Facebook family like photos. Okay. Don't do it. Paint, show up. It doesn't matter. The market is the one who's going to decide. And there's someone out there who's going to love your ugly dog pictures, your ugly plant pictures, or even a pizza or a fruit or anything that you do. All right. They're going to love it. There's somebody out there who's going to love it. The good thing for us is on eBay, we have 185 million people to play around with the idea on. That's bigger than any social media. So just create out there because there's always somebody out there for you. Okay. So let's just get this on right now. We're about to do some more like Cubism, fun lady faces or man faces. They're just going to be some different type of funky faces, and it doesn't matter because we're showing up. We're getting art done, and that's all we can do. All right. So only thing that we can control is us showing up. Can't control anything else. Let's get it going. All right. So here we are right now. We have what five pieces of paper right here. These are 14 by 11-inch gallery 98-pound pressed mixed media paper right here. You could get these from any art store. You could get this from either a Dick Blix. You could get this from either a Michael's, Hobby Lobby. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be the super gallery ones. It doesn't have to be the super expensive ones. It just has to be where they have the thickness. That way the paint doesn't seep through to the bottom of it and it doesn't warp and it's not super thin. You don't want traceable paper and you don't want regular paper. What you want here is at least 98-pound pressed paper. Okay. And then let's just get to work. I don't know. Let's take out our 1.5-inch brush right here and let's just make some broad strokes on here. Just try to get the faces down. Now, this is one of my finished pieces that I've done months ago, really, and I keep it just as an inspiration piece. I keep it as a painting for me to just have a reference. Picasso says that he used to keep artwork around the studio so that way it would inspire him on the choices that he would make in his other artwork instead of him just going off his brain. It's like a cheat form, instead of like a projector, it's the same form. Everybody has shortcuts. So even Picasso would just put a lot of artwork. Even with Picasso, he would take a lot of caveman drawings or African art, and he would do the same thing. He would just like reinvent it. I mean, it's Picasso who coined the phrase, you know, uh, good artists copy, great artists steal or replace or take, or one of those, something like that. All right, so we're just gonna put some color in, like a cream color for like the face. Then we're just gonna put the face down like this, and you can see I'm not thinking about it. It doesn't matter even if I have it like a square face or something. You know, it's all gonna work out in the end. We're just getting colors in there, and use a broad stroke or a broad brush, a big one, either a 1 inch or one bigger than that. That way you're just able to push the paint faster and get it off the palette and onto the paper or onto the canvas. And it looks better too. It looks better for some reason to the client's eye because they see that at least you're confident in whatever choice that you were making. You weren't dibble dabbling. You have to be confident in your artwork if you want the price for it. And the confidence also comes from you being comfortable to say to yourself, I don't care. Some people get offended when I say that, like, oh, you don't care. No, what I'm saying is I don't care about the outcome, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to make good art. You can't control the outcome, so why should I care about something that I can't control? Why should I think about something like that? It doesn't matter if I spent 20 minutes on this, 20 seconds, or 20 hours. I can't control the market, and I can't control who's going to buy it or what they're feeling at the time. Someone who might pay a lot of money for one of your cat paintings today that's standing next to a barn, they're not going to pay it tomorrow. The only reason that they paid a good price for it today is because their aunt's birthday is tomorrow, that reminded them of the barn that they grew up on with the aunt. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's how art is. Art art especially on eBay is not based off of you being aesthetic and the talent. It's more about right time, right place. So just make a whole bunch of right time, right place paintings so you can fill that void. Because a lot of times when somebody pays a good price for your artwork, it's not because you're some great artist and they really like the color strategy and the theory that what you used on that. A lot of times it has to do based on, especially when they write you and they tell you, they'd be like, you know what, I like that painting because it reminds me of my father and tomorrow's Father's Day. It's preparation meets opportunity, which we talked about in the other video, which is luck. It's not, oh, I'm so lucky. No, it's that you work hard. You'll never go wrong with work. The work is you showing up. You can't control the other stuff, because most of the time the other stuff has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with your art. And that's everything, even in life, with success in life. It's not even about art. A lot of times in life, you only get those opportunities and you get those things because it was the right time in the right place, and it has something to do with something else that you'll never know the answer for. You'll never understand why that person was feeling a certain type of way, what it connected them to. It has something to do with their daughter. It has something to do with their father. Only thing that you have to do is show up, so that way you have more lottery tickets. We talk about that inside the eBay art community. We talk about the lottery ticket effect. Lottery ticket effect is that you're producing more lottery tickets for yourself. I can't control what I don't I don't know when your wife's anniversary is, but I'm putting myself in a situation to have something for the moment. Does that make sense? I wish I would have said this on the previous video. On the previous video, we were talking about this a little bit, but I think I was being a little bit more vague. Or I couldn't really articulate my thoughts, and now it's just hitting me a little bit different. Thinking about I'm thinking about how success worked in my life. And I had to get outside of my ego, thinking that the success that ever happened to me in my life was so much based upon me, in comparison to just me showing up at the right time in the right place because I worked hard and I was ready for the opportunity that came my way. Anytime you ever hear success stories and people are like, oh, how did this happen? How did this happen? And they're like, I really don't know. It's just that. But what I do know is I was working hard and I was already prepared for that moment. I was already doing these actions before the success. It's just that when I was doing those things already, I happened to bump into this person who was already a billionaire or millionaire at that moment. And they were already, and then they looked at my work strategy, or they looked at what I was doing, And then it clicked for them, and they gave me the opportunity because their daughter found my work online, and they said, "Hey, Dad, give this person a." It had nothing to do. It had nothing to do with you. It had nothing to do with how many hours you spent doing your artwork and all of that. It had nothing to do with that. It just showed. It just was you showing up and putting the lottery ticket effect for yourself. Put more lottery ticket effects out there. You're working so hard just so you could create yourself one lottery ticket. Why do that? Look at this. I'm not thinking anything about this either. And it gets so much easier because I already created 20 of these before I shot this video. And I just came in this morning, but I already shot 20 of these. So it gets, even for me, even though I've done so many paintings in my career, it gets better in the day for me when I start my day off like this with loose. My choices are better because I know at least I have a body underneath of me of work. So even if I feel like, hey, I might have messed up on these, which is impossible, I'm still like, it don't matter because I created already 20 pieces, and somebody's going, like, I created 20 lottery tickets before this. It doesn't even matter. So these are just going to be what, now 25, and I only been here for a couple hours. So how come you can't do that and you're talking about it's taking you so long to do paintings? Because you're stuck to your old style of doing paintings. Your ego's involved. If you want the money and if you want to treat it like a business, then treat it like a business and get in production mode. But if you want to treat it like a gallery and you care more about your ego, then that's fine too. You could do that. You could do that outside the business part. Treat this like a business where you're doing production. And then if you want to go back and spend 10 hours on drawing out an eyeball, then you could do that too after you're done with work. This is work. If I can do it, you can do it. To be honest with you, I got into a point in my art career where I don't need to paint every single day. I don't need to paint. But I enjoy doing these. What wakes me up in the morning now is I enjoy doing these paint videos to show you that I can still do it. I can still show up to work and I can still paint and I can still do this within time. I could paint, I can make videos, I can do my coaching, I can list these on eBay either for a buy it now price or they just sit there for passive income, or maybe sometimes an auction. I don't know. I haven't really auctioned that much over the past few months, or at least been consistent with it. But I love showing up to show you what are the best prime of examples is that you show up and you show by example. You're the leader. You have to show by example. I love that because I don't see anybody else in our space that's doing stuff like that, where a lot of times people, they love just sitting in front of a camera and talking and talking and talking, or I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that, or they're going to be a talking head about their coaching or this, that, the other. But you never actually see them get in the mud, and you don't see them actually like work. You don't see them where you sit down with them and they're going to the office. What does that look like? I'm in the office. I'm working right now. I'm out on the beach drinking pina coladas. I could be, and you wouldn't know a difference. Or I could have not even came out with this program and just been pushing so much art, nobody would have known anything. The reason why you wouldn't have known anything because you don't need social media, and you don't need the email list how they're pushing out. and I would have just been selling art and been selfish. But that's I wasn't being fulfilled that way. And God told me the God told me to show this and help people, show them my day by day for the people who actually want to do it. I know what that feeling is like of being somewhere in your life or doing something in your life where you're like, you know what, I'll do anything just to elevate and just to have a new chapter. And then from there I can do something else. That's really one of the things that I always talk about within doing this is I'm not saying that you can do this and you want to be a full-time artist and you have to tell people that, because then when you're in your head like that, it's hard to create art. And I get it. I totally get it. It's hard to do that if you're not already an artist, because I'm teaching this program where anybody can do it. You don't have to be an artist. But I'm also teaching that nobody has to know about it. You don't have to post on social media of your artwork and all and what you're doing. You don't have to tell people, because I know it's like that part is crazy difficult right there. Even as an artist, me, when I started off just showing my artwork online, it was so difficult because I was just like scared of the pressures of what people are going to say online. People are mean online, and it's already hard enough to make these choices as an artist where you're doing art and then you got people like judging you or people who are your peers or people who you care about. The human psychology is not everybody is a not everybody has the type of personality where they're good at, I'm not going to say confrontations, but good at being alone or being the lone wolf. People like to be in packs, and humans like to be wanted and accepted. And you don't want to be like the outskirt one where people are judging you or something, because then you're just going to say to yourself, oh, I was just joking around, I'm not really an artist. You don't have to be an artist when you're doing this, but you can use this. Nobody has to know about it. You can make your money, and then you could transition into the next thing of your life, whatever that is. I prayed for that. I prayed for that so hard when I started off. I said, I just want something where it could be a stepping stone for me. Something where maybe I don't see myself doing it full time, because I don't like the name, oh, you're a starving artist, which we're not on eBay, but people will see that way, and it doesn't matter what they think, because they're going to think that way either way. But it's just a way for you to transition to other things in your life. It gives you some capital to take care of your family, to take care of yourself. And it's like a part-time job, but better than a part-time job, because you could do it all from the comfort of your home, and nobody has to know about it. And you don't have to drive out. You don't have to do anything. In the eBay art community, I have a program where it shows you how you can start this off with little to no capital, where you start off slow at 5 canvases a day. And you could do that for your first month until you really build up your capital. And then after that, I work with you to start doing 10 canvases a day, where you run promotions and you do certain sales discounts and you do certain buy one get ones, and you run all these different things at the same time. So that way, even though you're starting off slow, you're building your capital up, but the store impression on the algorithm is looking like you're producing more. And it's all broken down. So if you're not already part of the eBay art community, I don't know what you're waiting for. You could be making money now as early as next week, especially before the holiday comes. Christmas time is coming. This is the time of year that people build up their catalog. Not just art catalog, but like just items to give to their family. And you don't want to miss out on that. because the work that you do today during this holiday time, it's going to equal out for you to have a high sales conversion. And when you have a high sales conversion, what's going to happen is when it's the first of the year and everybody gets their tax money, the refund money, do you really want to start your art business then? Do you really want to start this business then? No, you want to have that sales conversion that you're already a trusted seller by that point. Because then everybody's going to come to you. See, I'm on the deeper game and telling people how to set this up. This is why this is the perfect time for everybody. And it's a perfect time for you if you haven't sold on eBay before because you have a perfect account history. eBay loves promoting new accounts. eBay loves promoting new buyers, or I meant new sellers. A lot of the seasoned resellers, they always complain about that, where they're like, man, my account doesn't get the hits no more, but those new sellers, they get hit. They get all the sales. I have clients who just open their account and they're getting back to back bids. They're getting back to back bids, and it just started. They haven't even hit the snowball effect trifecta yet, but they're getting back to back bids. It's because they got a new account. They got a fresh account. That's why I also stress about health on your account. I wish somebody told me when I was starting off with my eBay art career, was talking about the importance of health on your account, and breaking down the metrics and the defects of your late deliveries and how to be a top rated seller, and how if you're a top rated seller, how you save so much money by doing that. But also just so many different things about how that helps your account and how eBay looks at it that way, because eBay is an algorithm and they're really an AI algorithm now. All right, I'm gonna take my heat gun right here and we're just gonna dry these off a little bit because I don't like to paint on wet black. And boom. Cool thing about working with paper is that it dries very quickly, especially when you got that heat gun out. Brilliant. Now we're just going to go over it with some of these lighter colors. It doesn't matter. There's no rhyme or reason. I'm not thinking anything about this. Now that I've already did, this is 25. So now that I did 25 of these paper pieces really quick, now I'm going to start doing some canvas work after this. And then that's going to be the fun because I'm already loosened up and I'm already confident in my mind that I knocked out 25 of these paintings. It's only been 2 hours that I've been in the office. The problem is you're starting your day off and you're not producing. You're starting your day off and you're thinking about gallery canvases. Start your day off loose like these. That way it's going to free you up psychologically. You're going to feel better that at least that you have a body underneath of you of work. You're not going to feel like you just spent hours, and you'll never feel like you hit your goal. I'm not saying this. I'm saying this as a coach where I've been there before. I've been there too many times. I have a focus problem. I have like ADHD or something. I don't even, am I saying that right? Is it ADHD or is it ADD? Whatever. I got that thing. I got that thing. And I get distracted too easily. That's why it's easier for me to work like this too, because my brain moves so fast, and I need to it this calms me down or something, and then I'm able to work off of the canvas. But I'm telling you, these I'm trying to teach you these tricks and these mindset things to get you out of your mind, because I have the same issue. I probably have it worse than you do though. And it took me years. Like, I had to write these things down. I had to meditate. I had to go through I had to even go through what do they call those things? I even had to go through like a hypnotist or a hip hypnotist. Hypnotist? Yeah, I even had to go through like a hypnotist to get out of my mind about being perfect and about doing the right art, processes of how to make my art faster. I struggled with it for years. How to be faster, how to let go. And the only way that really helped me the most, well, I'm not going to say it helped me the most, but one of the things that really helped me is that when I actually committed and I did it, I was able to see what my market is and what my market reacts to. And I think the thing that's killing you now is that you don't know what your market is. So you don't know that you're thinking something more about it than what they are. You're making it more of a bigger deal than they are. Believe me. All right, I'm done on that one. I'm just going to take my black pastel and I'm just going to like touch up the lips or something, like give it some, right? Something like that. We could do something like this, something like this. Take some white, just that way it looks like we have some layers to it. I'm telling you, these pieces of paper right here, you can sell these to $500 to $1,000. And how long did it take us? Less than 20 minutes for all five of them. So that's what, 4 to 5 minutes for each one when you do it this way. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. I love these. These look so great. And they're going to look even better when they're framed up. Make it like some hair, right? Okay. And boom. We're done right there. Just another day showing up at the studio. Just another day. Another day, another dollar. More money, more problems. Look at that. Beautiful work. Beautiful work. We did that together. They're going to look even better when they're framed up. Look at them framed up. Huh? Look at that. Look at that. Boom. So beautiful when they're framed up. That's why I'm not worried about these. I'm not tripping off of these at all. All right, so there we go. There, you could just see how we knocked those 5 paintings out really quick, really easy. When I'm doing these paintings, not only am I loose in my mind, but I'm thinking to myself, I want to work fast because I want to get on to the next project. For me, the next project is going to be working on canvases, and that's where the fun is going to come at. That's where I could really just stand up, I could work off the projector, and I could be more physical with it. I don't have to be hunched over the table the whole time. And there's nothing wrong with that either, especially working in groups and packs together like that. Do that to get out of your mind. Do that to just loosen up. I have the same issue that you have, working faster, trying to be loose, and I have to do these exercises to get outside my brain. But so this is a psychological way for you to do it for yourself. How you can just list more items onto eBay, and that way you can bring the money in. All right, because that's what it's all about. That's why we're here. If you want to learn more about that, how you can do this for yourself, bring the money in, no social media, no ads, no email list, then click the link below, and I'm gonna see you in the next video.